I am Francisco Expert. I have a brother named Juan Expert and a sister named Juanita Expert. We are all experts. So when it comes to my credentials, I am an expert. I know what I'm talking about. I'm an expert. The thing is that walking has been the most common form of transportation for all of Homo sapiens for all time. In fact, walking has been the most common form of transportation for all invertebrates with legs. Jesus walked on land and water. Muhammad walked on land. Dinosaurs, the Bronchiosaurus heptus, walked on land. The sad part is that we in the 21st century still do what they did in the beginning of time. As humans progress from the beginning of time, whether you look at it from an evolutionary standpoint or a religious standpoint, it doesn't matter. There's been an evolution and a change in the way things go. As time progressed, there was an object and then a superior, and then everyone got a superior object, and then the original object became archaic and old, and no one wanted it anymore. That's progressed over time, except when it comes to walking. But let's look at weapons. Originally we had just a pointy stick, and then we came up with the spear, and then after that we had the bow and arrow. Things progressed and changed over time. Nowadays we have intercontinental ballistic missiles and dark matter bombs. These things are progressions from that original pointy stick. The only thing that hasn't changed though is walking. The cavemen walked, the knights walked, we walk today. Nothing has changed. Humans began walking upright, and we are still walking upright.
Currently, the human race has spent their entire existence going from place to place. Everyone needs to get from point A to point B. However, the attempts to make walking work have been futile. There have even been some brilliant, one-of-a-kind innovators who do their best to improve walking.
My name is Bob, and I've got a degree in child psychology from the University of Georgia. So that means that I know exactly what I'm talking about. Right now, there's this thing out there, it's called running. Some people do it, not all people do it, and it works. You walk, but you just do it really fast. And running, it's difficult, most people can't do it, and not everyone's brilliant to come up with that idea. I mean, it's pretty complex. However, there are still problems with this running idea. It's just fast walking, and it's still just as inefficient as walking. It's fasterly inefficient.
Hi, I'm Professor Baklava of the Culinary Institute at UGA. As you can see, the hyperocalism and the clitoral of humans as they walk is all wrong. There's energy in the hycrobial blend that is wasted. Also, the flibberal and pyramidal bones are used in such a way that they destroy each other. I believe it is obvious that walking has a negative effect on the body, and I believe my evidence clearly demonstrates that.
As we can see, as the professor put all those big words together to talk about something we know nothing about, he must be right. There are some current alternatives to walking, but they are incredibly expensive. Some places have already adopted the newest form of walking. These are called moving sidewalks, or sometimes called moving walkways. Here's how they work. Imagine the conveyor belt in a toy factory. A toy soldier is placed on it at one end, and the conveyor belt moves it to another part of the factory. This is the idea behind the moving sidewalk. A person steps on it at one end and stands still. The moving sidewalk moves them through space to the other end of the walkway. The whole time, the person does not have to walk at all, but is still moving. It is really very easy to use. So easy a caveman could do it.
And everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me.
These moving sidewalks are fantastic. They are far superior to walking. You get from point A to point B in a snap, and it is by far more efficient than walking. It is faster, easier, and less stress. It makes everything easier. If a machine can walk better for us, why wouldn't we let it?
Moving walkways can be used for more than just a walking replacement. There's almost an unlimited number of possibilities for this new innovation.
I see the moving sidewalk not as a feature, but merely as a next step in the walking evolution. For instance, we could all have personal walking machines. This would be very efficient and much easier than simply walking. This idea would make a large pair of motorized arms and a large pair of motorized legs and put them together to form a large walking machine. The person I would sit in the torso of this machine. My arms would control the machine arms, and my legs would control the machine legs. We could even go as far as put personal defense devices in the arms to protect those from people who might use these for the wrong reasons. These machines would make walking much more efficient because they require zero human energy. They take longer strides, require less energy, and go much farther. Not to mention the safety aspect of the self-defense mechanisms that could potentially be built in. There are many other ideas that exist currently that will make walking obsolete and unnecessary. I personally am working on this new system called the Jettison. More or less what it does is it's a personal transport device. When you get in, it hovers above the ground and takes you where you need to go. It's similar to the car, but instead of rolling on wheels, which are again kind of like very similar to walking, this hovers and is completely different from the walking aspect. This hovering system eliminates the wear on wheels, which essentially is the same as the wear on shoes. Ultimately is to have machines and computers do the walking for us. Or even simpler, everyone can just fly. Superman does it, it's not that difficult. You just stand there and then you start flying.
There are many alternatives that are readily available that far exceed walking. Honda, for example, has built what is called the U3-X personal mobility device. This allows the user to sit and move instead of having to walk. This allows you to do things such as make calls or send text messages without having to worry about falling down. The Segway is also gaining popularity and is clearly more efficient than walking.
In the future, walking will not even be required. Nothing will come close to resembling walking. It's just obsolete and it's not going to happen anymore. So in the future, there are going to be tubes that transport you from one place to another. And I'd also go as far as to say that the Star Trek transporter will become a reality. And you'll be transported from location to location, atom by atom.
I'm from the year 2048, and when asked to do this interview, I had to be reminded what walking was. See, we travel in what are called chair-porters. To describe it in terms you past people might understand, it's basically a recliner that floats and has a television in front of it. On this television, we can access the internet and communicate to other people through webcams. Can't we all agree that my chair-porter is better than walking?
Walking, plain and simple, is inefficient. There are currently better ways to transport oneself, but they have yet to catch on. The future will only bring better and more efficient ways to walk. Walking is a waste of valuable energy, unhealthy, and inefficient. Alternatives, like the Segway, allow humans to store energy as fat for later emergency use and not waste it on walking. Humans were not designed to walk. The brain is in the head, not the feet. This means that humans were designed to think of ways to eliminate walking. How will you eliminate it?